Welcome to how-to videos from Bugspray.com. I'm Chad Grossglass, your host, and today we are going to be treating this massive cabin with an even bigger ladybug problem. Now, a lot of people have asked me, why would you want to kill ladybugs? They're cute. They eat aphids. Well, these aren't the ladybugs we grew up with, and they can create a huge mess inside of a house. So today we're going to go through this house, we're going to look for all the problem areas, we're going to identify what needs to be done, we're going to do the treatment, and we're going to reduce the population of ladybugs in this structure by a huge amount. The idea is not going to be to resolve the entire problem today. It's probably going to take a year or two of twice annual treatments to resolve this problem. But when we're done, there'll be a massive reduction in the number of ladybugs in this structure. People often ask me, why would you want to kill ladybugs? Well, imagine coming to your home after a hard day of work and seeing this all over the floor. Or how about this above your tub? And worst of all, you want to take a nice hot bath and you see this inside your tub. Let's imagine for a moment that you came home and not only was your bathroom covered in ladybugs, but then you went into your master bedroom and had to find the same problem with hundreds of ladybugs all over your floor. Some dead, some alive, many of them flying around, crawling on your lamp, on and under your curtains. Hundreds of ladybugs in your windowsills. Okay, I think I mentioned earlier that there was a lot of ladybugs. Let's see if we can scan back here a little and get a full picture. Ladybugs in your kids' room. Yeah, if I had a problem like this, I'd be inclined to do something about it. Okay, I wanted to point out something that you'll find when you have a large ladybug population. A lot of times you'll find that they actually leave, basically it's feces, and it literally stains the wood or the painted surface, whatever it is that they tend to be getting on. Even this rubber along here, the weather strip holding in the glass, as well as on this naturally varnished, it's natural wood but it's varnished, and that stuff is really tough to get off. I found in a lot of cases where it has gotten on painted wood that really about the only thing you could do is repaint it. It just wasn't coming off. Okay, I've done a good inspection of the Crawlspace attic. There's not a lot of problems up there, which is contrary to most of the attic spaces I've seen in houses that have big problems with ladybugs. But I'm going to go ahead and treat it anyway, just to make sure that it doesn't become a problem. A lot of times you'll find that roaches, wasps, and other things get into an attic space, and it's a good idea to go ahead and treat it while you have the opportunity. I already had the ladder up, I already had the top open. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a small duster. You can see I've got goggles on for eye protection. I'm going to wear a dust mask, or a respirator in this case. And I'm going to go ahead and treat this area. It should just take me about 30 seconds at the most, even with this small duster. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is to do a crack and crevice treatment. Now what we recommend above everything else on our website is the Air Devil, and it really is the best option. It's got the quickest knockdown, and it really has the longest residual. But it does have a slight odor, so if you're going to have people in the house like we do this weekend, you're probably not going to want to use the Air Devil as your first choice. The next choice would be the Invader. Again, a slight odor, but it also works real well, has a long residual, and it also is labeled for almost every place. The last product that we'll use is the PT Sidekick, and that's the one I'm going to choose to use this weekend. I'm treating a bedroom. It's got almost no odor at all. So when I treat later this evening when we go to bed, there won't be any hint of an application in this structure. This is the tip that goes with the Air Devil and the Invader. Any place this tip can fit, an insect can fit. Okay, so here's a place, here's a place where they're coming in. Up in here is a pretty good place where they can come in. Okay, whenever you're doing a crack and crevice application, it's good to have some eye protection. I like to wear some glove protection, simply because when you're going to these cracks and crevices, it's always possible for that aerosol to shoot back, and the last place you want it is in your eyes. And you're using your hands to eat and do everything else. Even though you can wash most of it off, I just kind of feel more comfortable having it on. A lot easier to throw these gloves away than it is to wash my hands real thoroughly. So you're going to do just a 1 second blast in about every foot. The other place you want to hit is behind this. If you look here, I can literally stick my hands back behind here. So just about every place where any of this stuff comes together is a good place to hit thoroughly. Another strong possible place for them to come in are all these cracks and crevices where the logs come together. Even if they're not coming in this way, it's a great place for them to hide. So just a quick blast in each one of these cracks and crevices will give you the opportunity to do a good job at getting rid of them in hiding places like this as well. Okay, today we're going to be spraying the outside of the structure, all these surfaces here. A lot of the ladybugs are finding their way in through spaces like this. There's several places where the logs come together at corners, and we want to be able to spray those areas. I'm using the Viper cypermethrin. Any of the liquid cypermethrins would be good on this structure, simply because it has a very dark, stained surface. So you want to make sure that when you're spraying a dark stained surface that you're not using the wettable powder, unless you don't mind having a little bit of a powdery residue on the surface. If it was a really light color, maybe even as light as this, it wouldn't be a problem at all. As a matter of fact, when you're spraying, you want to make sure that you move furniture like this out of the way. There's no need of spraying this. It's not going to benefit you in any way, and I don't particularly want to sit on it anyway. So spray the surfaces that you can spray. I'm going to use a shield because I'm going to be doing a lot of overhead spraying on this particular structure, and I don't want anything to fall back into my eyes or my face. You want to do the application with, I'm using an adjustable tip. A fan tip works real well. I just happen to have an adjustable tip with me today, and I've got it adjusted to a fine spray, not completely the smallest setting, but I want to get a nice broad pattern, and I want it to dry fairly quickly. I'm not trying to get it to soak everything. When you're spraying around the doors, sometimes you'll even want to open the door and spray around the inside of this frame, the threshold, to ensure that you're getting a good application. Again, just like with the windows, there's trim boards here. Make sure you're spraying behind these trim boards in order to get the best application. This is another access point. Essentially, you got this trim board, and then the logs are going against another trim board. And there's all kinds of places where the wood changes shape over time and allows a great access point for the ladybugs.